Hi, hello everyone. I am Sam Said from Egypt. I am taking part in Policy Advocacy on Genetic and Genomic course 2024. I'll share our insights about making data freely available to the global scientific community. These insights were prepared by Gladys from Kenya and me, Sam Said from Egypt. We are representatives for negative team for group 3. Let's present our topic, which is about should access to biobank data restricted to researchers from the country of origin, or should it be made freely available to the global scientific community? Okay. What are biobanks? Human biobanks collect, process, store, distribute human biological samples and associated data. Biobanks are widely recognized as valuable resources for biomedical research, as access to samples and their related data is essential to basic translational, clinical, epidemiological, and diagnostic research. Access to sample and data sharing have been well debated internationally. There are two opposite voices regarding access to data. The first voice supports that there is an obvious need for sharp restrictions limiting the biobank data access for only researchers from the country of origin. The second voice supports that to maximize value, biobank managers must make these resources available to researchers and collaborators. Debates and rationales. The rationales for the first voice is privacy and confidentiality, and the rationales for the second voice is scientific innovations and health improvement. Making data freely available to the global scientific community. Ready access to health research studies is important to maximize the opportunities of scientific innovations and health improvements. Large-scale population-based prospective studies are particularly useful for multidisciplinary research into the causes, treatments, and prevention of many different diseases and disorders. The advantage of UK Biobank's open access strategy for health research, which was published in 2019, highlighted that UK Biobank has been established as an open access resource for public health research, with the intention of making the data as widely available as possible in an equitable and transparent manner. Free access data of biobank facilitate research in rare diseases and disorders, as rare diseases and disorders with small sample sizes in each country provides this information about this disease. Free access to biobank data allow researchers to collaborate with other biobanks and so more informative, more clear view about those rare diseases and disorders regarding risk factors, treatments, preventions, and so on. Pre-validation of promising finding using large cohorts, promoting translational science, promoting personalized medicine. Genome-wide association studies statistics for thousands of phenotypic traits now considered routine and publicly available. This in turn is accelerating research into using genetic variants to access causality of association, risk stratification purposes that maximize scientific utility of these data, for example, artificial intelligence and machine learning applications for health outcome predictions. Okay. Challenges regarding the governance of biobank data access are: number one, economic barriers such as the cost of processing and stakeholders' requirements. Legal challenges including those relating to effective data security, data management, informed consent, and privacy protection. Technical barriers as incomplete data and the lack of interoperability of data. political barriers such as policies that limit efficient data sharing. Okay, we will discuss some of these barriers or challenges. Regarding stakeholders in biobank research, they have different conflicting interests and responsibilities. Biobanks, firstly, biobanks invest financial and human resources, therefore seek academic and monetary recognition for their efforts. Compensation. When material or data are used in individual research projects. Second, individual researchers and their affiliations, either academic, clinical departments, who contribute to the development of a specific biobank for their own interests. Third, publicly funded biobank. The funders may oblige biobanks to allow uses of samples and data with high scientific and social value, another sort of compensation. This challenge can be managed by implementation of mixed model funding. Mixed model funding the fund of biobank should be mixed model as mixed from different sectors, public sector, private sector, research grants, and so on, exploring the cost, expenses, cost recovery, and finance. Another challenge regarding the governance of biobank data access is privacy and confidentiality protection, which can be managed through informed consent, harmonizing privacy law, anonymous sample and data. Okay. Harmonizing privacy law. Harmonizing privacy law to enable international biobank research, which was published in a Journal of Law, Medicine and Ethics. This research has been made from the International Institute of Health with support of the National Human Genome Research Institute. This symposium of this journal on regulations of biobank was edited. Symposium contains 27 articles, 40 authors, and analysis of privacy law of 20 cases. Study highlights, number one, traditional legal and ethical principles, the identification strategies, anonymous sample and data. Protecting privacy without impeding research is a great challenge for biobank administrators, researchers, regulators, and scholars. This challenge is for the international research. Why? Because relevant laws differ widely among countries engaged in biobank-enabled research in terms of substances, procedures, and underlying public policies. Policy harmonization of international regulatory enable data sharing for translational research in genomic data and related fields by identifying and characterize the biobank structure and applicable standards in each country, harmonize policies and law to enable international biobank research, translational research in genome, genomics, and related fields. Why? Still giving effect to essential privacy protection. Okay. About Africa, the regulations of healthy data sharing in Africa, a comparative study which was published in the Journal of Law and Bioscience in 2024. The countries selected from this comparative review are South Africa, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda. They have enforceable data protection laws. Ghana imposed formal legislative data protection from 2012, Uganda 2019, Nigeria 2023, Kenya 2019, and South Africa 2020. The findings and recommendations. They found that countries under this study have robust regulatory framework that promote healthy data sharing while protecting individual privacy rights. Legal sharing of healthy data has been identified. Regarding recommendations, and number one, inspire policy reform and stimulate debate around the need of regulatory regular interaction and sharing of best practice between data protection authorities to strengthen the regulatory frameworks for health data sharing in Africa, as well as helping these authorities to gain insights into the practical implementation of health data sharing in other countries. Okay. The increasing of new digital technology such as artificial intelligence in healthcare relies on the availability of substantial amount of data, including personal data. It is necessary that the legal environment respond to this development, ensuring the protection of personal data and the responsible use of artificial intelligence in healthcare. Samples and data accessibility in research Biobank and explorative survey. Accessibility and reusability of data and biological samples stored in the research Biobank should follow empirical approach. This doesn't mean that all data accessibility barriers should be necessarily overcome, thus leading to unrestricted access to Biobank. Sure not. But which means the accessibility of biological resources should go through SOPs, standardized operating procedures. Okay. Biobanks should have manageable access policy and make them freely accessible for scientific community by harmonizing privacy policies. Therefore, enhance public trust, enhance willingness to donate sample and public fund, facilitate networking with interested researchers. Finally, biobanks should balance between local interests and prioritize access to stored samples, approach to appropriate return on investments (ROI), and biobank funding model, and lastly, protect privacy and confidentiality. Thank you all for your attendance and goodbye.